Goddamn. Salute to everybody. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. It's definitely not the time to be putting in I shouldn't have how do I say gunshots, on a Sunday morning. You know what I mean? Whoa. You didn't catch that. You didn't catch that. Yeah, you didn't catch that, but maybe it's good you didn't catch that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy though, man. It's weird when you go live, right? You don't even realize there's certain things that you don't pay attention to until you're live, right? So you gotta excuse me. But salute to everybody. It's funny because on the way over here, I was actually listening to my church sermon. And, everybody has a purpose in something because I haven't been attending my church for a very long time. In case you haven't noticed, I know it's pretty bad. I know. But I could explain. And this reason is probably very common with a lot of people. I haven't been attending church the way I should. And this has a lot to do with, I miss my pastor. I do. I miss my pastor. I miss him terribly. And I feel that the last pastor to really connect with me was him. And that's a gift and a curse at the same time because I experienced it. He was once here, but he's not here anymore. And that's the pro. The pro is he was here. He was here, you know what I mean? But he's no longer here. That part. And when you have somebody that, I knew then that my pastor was so powerful that I knew then when he was giving me the word, I said, I know I'm never going to forget that. I remember he told me two things. He was sitting in front of my bank, standing in front of the bank. I will never forget this, right? And he said, life is about decisions and choices. One bad decision or choice could ruin your life, right? And then he says, oh man, I say it all the time, but he said that for the blinks desensitizes you. It'll come back, but again, he was so powerful that I used to look when he would talk and say, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of like look at somebody and just know that they're special. Like, man, like, it's kind of like, where are you? You know what I mean? Like, where were you all this time? You know what I mean? And then you have people that they could never replace what you had, right? So, you know what I mean? That's another thing as well. Like, so what I've noticed with me, I know that there's a very big, So what I've noticed. I'm sorry. With me, I noticed that there's significant people that I have met in a lifetime that kind of put me in a zone to never forget them. You know what I mean? And I love that, And I think that it's important. Now, you know, the other day I was speaking to another individual, and it's kind of fun because today, the people that play the position of people that once told me what they told me, peep how this works. Nobody can do better, but the new people do better for what they do. Case in point, if I got 6 customers in a day, all of them customers are going to give me an incredible mode of life of a teaching because they're customers, right? But I would never have another pastor give me something new because then it kind of like deletes what the past pastor did. You understand? So I feel it's designed that way. And what I admire about what my pastor once had shared with me, the pastors don't share that now. I was listening to this pastor in my current church, and I'm like, wow, everything he's talking about, if I've been there or I already spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like I'm the guy that's already speaking what he's speaking, right? Like, you know, so he was talking about holding on to things and kind of hoarding feelings and stuff like that. You know, I know that's a big problem with us, and we can't seem to get past that. We just can't seem to get past it. It's so common that I spoke on this already. It's kind of like the same thing what 50 Cent said yesterday, how all, you know, podcasting is like the new music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is. It's like this is the version of new music. Nobody's thinking about putting out new music anymore because they're doing podcasts, right? So podcast now is like the version of what making a record is, you know. If you see what's happening in New York right now, it's like the new record deal is a podcast. And then you got the little people like us that's like trying to get the big deals, that the Joe Buttons and the Fat Joes and Charlemagne the God, they're getting deals. They're putting this shit on Netflix. So, you know, they're getting paid major, substantial money. And it's really no talent involved when everybody's just talking. Now we're missing out because in order to really embrace good music, you got to go into the archives of good music, you know, to feel good. You got to go back into the old school to feel good for today. So it's kind of the same thing. So the only people that seem to give me the new information is the new people. But, you know, positions of dads, uncles, OGs, that never, like, I just can't seem to replace it. So we all have to kind of go into the archives and see what we're dealing with today. Prime example, when 50 said that, I'm like, well, I spoke on this already. So as my pastors listen, I'm like, yo, I speak on this to, it's not my congregation, but to my subscribers, right? I speak to you on these same topics, like the same thing. And, you know, the other day there was a gentleman and we were talking about film and putting something together. And he's like, wow, you know, you should put a film together. And, you know, I said, I just don't want to put a film out that's going to be a basis of today, because today's energy is kind of like low, right? But I like the energy that people was putting in their creative mindset back in the day. And it's like, yeah, we didn't have this internet. So it's like, they had to be creative. Now the creativity is just like the same redundancy. It's just like, you know, for example, Method Man has this movie coming out with Kelly Rowland. And I feel that Kelly Rowland is like, Kelly Rowland should have just been an actress, you know what I mean? I don't think that she was, I've never seen her as a singer. Shout out to Rashida, goddamn. Shout out to Don't Panic, I'm sorry. I never looked at Kelly Rowland as, you know, a singer. I know they always try to compare her to Beyonce and the brown skin and light skin, and, you know, Kelly's more prettier, but Kelly Rowland is an actress. That's just her, you know what I mean? That's people don't realize that she should have been doing that. You know what I mean? She never had the presentation of a singer. She had the presentation as a singer because she was Beyonce's cousin. And Method Man, so it's like they call what, these romantic comedies and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Me as a Method Man fan, and not only because it's one of my brothers that lives in my community, I just personally don't see Method Man of none of the characters he displays. You know what I mean? I think that people are just getting image over talent. I feel that image is a big deal, you know what I mean? And some of the people, you may look at Omar Epps. Omar Epps is not a good image now because he looks chubby, he looks old. So, you know, he's too young to be looking that old. You know, these guys get in their 50s, they get swollen faces and shit like that, and they just don't look the same. And he just looks like a father that got 10 kids and a wife. Rather than Method Man doesn't look like he's a grandfather, you know what I mean? And to see this man, he's a good-looking dude. He keeps himself, you know what I mean? And they know how to make this image look good for film. But I personally don't think, and this is no knock to Method Man, I don't think he has been blessed yet with a character since How High. Since him and Redman did How High. I don't see why him and Redman don't do a podcast, if that's gonna be. You know? I don't see why him and Redman don't do movies together. And it doesn't have to be a Cheech and Chong type of movie with them smoking weed, but I feel that their energy's on each other. So when Method Man is doing film and you guys are not having Redman in films, it's kind of like, I feel that Method Man is typecast as he could do anything, and he really can't. You understand? I think he's an extraordinary individual, but he's a market brand. He's a visual. He's the signification of what a 50-plus-year-old man should look like at 55 years old, and that's fine. But playing a lawyer in Power and romantic comedy with Kelly Rowland, like, I mean, you guys could have found a whole bunch of different people to match up with that. You know, she was in that movie, what was the name of it? That she was playing the sex, where the guy was like a sexual, like demon with her or whatever. That was a good film. She did really good with that. I thought she rocked that movie. But I feel that, my point is what I'm making is that casting Method Man in a film, you're just casting him because he's good looking. You're not casting him because he executes an actor or executes his character. It's not believable when you have a man that we know that's been in the game for 30 plus years, when there's tons of actors that could have played that part that nobody knew of. She could have just been next to somebody we never seen, and there would have been more, you know what I'm saying? I love films. I watch a lot of Brazilian films. I've been watching a lot of Brazilian films lately, so I like to see new faces. So once again, it's just the propaganda. It's not about the craft. So I gotta go back into old movies. I gotta go back into romantic comedy and go back into Boomerang. You know what I mean? Last night I was watching Boys in the Hood, and I'm just like, what were they thinking? What did we have then that made this this movie was perfect. I'm watching things in this movie, and I'm watching Nia Long, excellent actress, and I'm watching Angela Bassett, and I'm watching, you know, what's the brother's name, the husband, Omar Good. You know, Cuba Gooding is not the greatest actor, but he still did a good job in the movie. Ice Cube rocked that movie. Like, it was so believable. I'm watching the film like, yo, I want to visit this. I want to see where this was filmed. I want to see that house. Lawrence Fishburne. I want to see the house that Lawrence Fishburne was living in. I want to see that house that Trey had to pick up the leaves. You know what I mean? again, I got to keep going back. So when I'm seeing the film today, without disrespect whatsoever, I can't even bear myself to go watch that Method Man movie and Kelly Rowland. I can't. I don't think Method Man is comfortable with his image because he's a humble guy, and they're using him as a puppet. He's not comfortable with his image. Kelly Rowland, I'm pretty sure she got moist being next to him, but this man is a married man. This man has a daughter that's practically the same age, well, not as old as Kelly, but he's a grandfather. He's a homebody, and he suffers with depression. You know, and I think he suffers with depression because he's forced to be something he's really not. I feel that he's happy when he's doing his concerts, and even then, why is he doing it? Is he doing it because he has nothing to do? Or is he doing it because he's depressed and it keeps him happy? How does a man have all these different elements and he's online on podcasts talking about he's depressed? So, podcast on a positive note, all you're doing is seeing people, this is therapy. It's therapy to talk. It's therapeutic to talk. It's true therapy to talk. So if you're in a conversation and you see Method Man, and it's sad to say, he's a better performer when he's a guest on a podcast. That's when you bring out his true character. It's not convincing to watch a film and I'm looking at the updates or whatever they called, when they promote the promos, and I'm just like, why do they do this? You know what I mean? There's tons of actors that people could have just grabbed and auditioned for this part to be next to her. I think that we suck too much. The current situation is not allowing us to really weather the storm. And we are in a long, very, very, very rough storm. This is a storm that I'm even noticing. Nobody has the answers. So we remix old school movies, we bring actors into movies, but we're not even tapping into the authenticity of there's different parts of this world that's doing better film. If you watch Netflix the way I've been watching it, most of this film from the United States, if it's good, it's old. All this current shit is garbage. Everything, like we believe that everything here is like, oh, it has to be shot in Texas, got to be shot in the Midwest, got to shot it from New York. Them days are long behind us, you know what I mean? There's tons of other people. You got to remember, most of these cinematographers are not American, so they're able to stay home and do what they do. There's a lot of talent out here still left, but with the impression of social media, I feel that people are not being their true selves. So podcast is the way for people to go. I say all this to say that I feel that there's a real dark feeling out here. It's very dark. When I talk to people, it's the same redundant stuff. I just seen two neighbors, and it was funny how we all had this discussion. She said, "You look like you dressed for the cold." They're two lesbian couples. So I'm like, yeah, I'm dressed for it. I said, but I love the cold. She said, really? She said, we do too. She said she likes it better than the summer. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, oh shit, me too. She said, yeah. And it was funny because now I could hear my pop spirit, because she said that, well, it keeps the riprap off the streets. I said, well, it does, but the only thing that increases in this mist is, domestic violence. She said, yeah, you're right. I said, I never thought. I said, domestic violence, fires, these are things that, increase during this time because it's freezing cold. Today it's 8. Let me tell you how cold it is right now. I want to tell you how cold it is right now. I'm going to blow your mind. Right now, currently, right? And you probably would say, I'm not leaving the house, Nate. You know what I mean? I'm going to make you cold when I tell you how cold it is. But right now, it's 14 degrees. So it's a little warmer, right? Last night it was 8 degrees. But it's refreshing, it's clean. And my dad used to always say that. He used to always say how, he keeps the riprap off the streets. And it's so true. But yes, people being in the houses, it does increase, domestic violence. So a lot of domestic violence increases clearly in the wintertime here, at least here. And probably all across, because I see a lot of different news in the Northeast and the Midwest, and it's pretty much the same thing. So when we're connected to this internet, and I spoke about this last night, it's kind of like we don't relieve the waste in our system, all that toxicity. So you eat food from last night, next morning you got to go to the bathroom, and you go to the bathroom and you let the waste go down the toilet, right? But now we're just enduring this, and we're like stuck. To see individuals like Method Man that suffers with depression, and I'm like, how do you suffer with depression? And you got all of these different opportunities. You're doing movies, you're doing concerts, you have a brand, and you have the brand of Wu-Tang Clan, because they're utilizing him to entertain us. But is he happy, right? We look at that, and is that inspiring, watching Method Man and Kelly Rowland in a movie and saying that we can do that? It's clearly not inspiring, because the movies that they're doing don't matter, because all the best romantic comedies are nearly 20, 30, 40, 60 years old. Nobody's making a good romantic comedy now. No one. They can't. It's been done. I can't have a pastor give me current information of today's climate, because it's been done. I can't have a person that looks like an uncle to give me that love, because it's done. I can't go to a club or a bar. I'm not really a bar person, but a lounge or whatever you call it, and enjoy, man, that was the party of the year. It's been done. It's been done already. It's not that I've been there, done that. It's been done. Time has told that. I feel that if Method Man was an actor in the 90s, when he was at his peak, and he was, because he was in Belly and he was in How High, that was him. Unfortunately, Method Man, and I hate for people to say this, he has to be, if he doesn't play any gangster modes of him, it's not gonna, he's typecast. He's typecast, so no matter what they try to dress him up to be something that he's not, Method Man doesn't look like that in person, okay? He doesn't rock a sharp hair and his beard sharp. My boy, a personal friend, cuts his hair. You know what I mean? He dyes his own beard, okay? All that shit you seeing is what they're making up to be. So maybe I could understand why he's unhappy. Maybe I could understand why Kelly Rowland was on stage with Destiny's Child and she never got recognition, and now she's doing movies because she's a better actress than Beyonce. She is. Beyonce's a horrible actress. You know what I'm saying? That's just not her. It's not that she's a bad actress, it's just not her. And I feel that a lot of us are suffering with that. Like, who are you? What do you, could you have played that part in that movie? Or maybe you didn't have to be in the movie. Maybe you could have been in a production. Maybe you could have been serving the food for craft services. Who are you? I do these streams, and it's not a family or friend. And this is why I don't like family and friend to listen to my live streams, because they take everything to heart. Even some of you new friends. But then I can't worry about you, because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to give my inspiration and being able to build you up on this Sunday afternoon. Some of you, if not most of you, you gave up. You're looking for a fix. It's kind of like the actor that waits for the call and you do the thing and when we're going to shoot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you're not in that space anymore. It's just a job. You lost the hunger. You have to have a hunger to own a business. You have to have a hunger to go to work. You have to have a hunger to go to the gym. You have to have a hunger to enjoy 15 degrees in New York City. There has to be admiration for that. If there's no admiration, it kind of puts salt. It's like putting salt on a wound. It doesn't fester. It doesn't grow, it festers. So you stop believing in what you need to do. So if I tell you one thing and say, for example, you know, how important it is to have a man in the household, a woman may take that as, well, what if I don't have a man? And it's like, no. You have to take heed that there's a man that's needed in the household. Just listen. Don't take it personal, because that's going to block you from listening. If you take it personal, you're not going to be able to listen. If you don't be able to listen, you're not going to be able to learn. If you're inspired or influenced by celebrities, you're never going to learn, because they're not even catching the script correctly themselves. See, the mode of giving up doesn't mean you gave up on love. The mode of giving up is you gave up on yourself. This is a storm that we're in. And the longer you give up on yourself, the storm is never going to stop. In your eyes, right? It will stop, but you know what I mean? Are you going to be here long enough to see it? That's why they say we are our own worst enemy. You are your own worst enemy, because you're looking for the next best thing, and nothing's working. It's equivalent. It's no difference than you waiting for the next. What's today? What's the big situation today? Cardi B fell in front of a robot. 2-3 days later, with the Obama situation from Trump, that story is sizzling away. So what do we have next? What's the old girl's? Glorilla's sister is on there running her mouth. She's gonna be that woman, that little dyke chick is gonna be a Tubi actress. Watch. She's gonna get in a movie because she has personality. We're just looking at people waiting for the next best thing for them. Social media is waiting for the next best story. You're waiting for your next best click. Some of you are waiting for the next mode of you being the next creator. But who are you? If you work on yourself, how are you going to do that if you don't know who you are? Who are you? Are you just waiting for the storm to pass, or you're weathering the storm? It's a big difference. Because people that wait for the storm, they're just waiting for a pie in the sky. And you're never going to see a pie in the sky. So if you're waiting for the storm to be over, it may never be over. Because the minute it is over, you won't even notice it, because it's going to be another storm coming. And it's just going to keep going, and it's going to keep going, and you're going to be the one, there's always some shit going on, right? Because you're not weathering the storm. That's why he told you, get out and dance in the rain. That's the only way, that's weathering the storm. Making the best situation out of nothing is weathering the storm. But you didn't give up on life, you gave up on you. Who are you? When I look at women shaking their asses on Instagram, they gave up on themselves. Because that's the bottom of the barrel. What are they going to do after that? What does a porn star do after they finish and they leave the porn game? What do you think they're going to do? Become a huge actress in Hollywood? No, that's not happening. They won't allow it. History shows that. It never did and never will happen. Because you were a porn star, that's the bottom of the barrel. So when you're seeing everybody have to jump out the window and go the sex route, they gave up. Oh, this one went crazy. This one is going through this. I don't care if it's your male friend, ex-friend. If you and friends and family are departing through each other since COVID and y'all becoming distant through this whole situation, 2026 has started and it hasn't been good. You gave up on yourself. You just don't realize it. But you will see it. Because you're waiting for a pie in the sky. I don't care how many movie offers Method Man does, it's not going to make him happy. It won't make you happy. See, human connection is very deep. He can't execute a part to inspire you. You're just watching it because there's nothing else to do. But if you watch a movie like Boys in the Hood, 35 plus years later, that shit still hits. It hits so good, I didn't even want to watch the part when he got shot. When Morris Chestnut got shot and the mother seen him come in the house, I didn't go that far because it's too much. It's too real. It made me realize as a director and realizing that John Singleton is no longer with us. If John Singleton was alive now, could he make a film like that right now with all these negative influences? I don't think he could. Not today. You know, we have this thing about low vibration and people around us and stuff like that, but who are the people around you? Are they bringing out the best in you because you gave up on yourself? What are they bringing out of you? Are you guys stagnated? Because I don't see a change right now at all. If I could play back my pastor talking about what he was talking about in church, it's probably off by now, obviously. But what was he talking about? Let's see. I think it's off. Yeah, it's off. It just got off too. Hold on. Here, okay, hold on. It's still going on. They're still there. Wow, I didn't even realize it was that early. It's still going on. So let me just give you an example of even the pastors are struggling because nobody's listening. We heard it all, but I feel that it mattered then. Hold on. How do I rewind?
For reminding us of courageous women
Oh, here it goes.
who have led the way for us, and specifically Shirley. We drink certain drinks. We go to the doctor often because we don't want to physically experience ailments, thinking that we will have a better life because we are caring for our physical health.
Amen.
But we overlook the emotional realm. So now when we go through something, we don't know how to emotionally process our challenges. We have not learned what emotional clutter means. We don't know how to digest emotions. They literally remain there constipated. Those are very, very gruesome word. But emotionally, some of us are constipated and have been constipated for years. We have not been able to digest some of the emotions that we...
Let me respond to Rashida. I used to be a big fan of T.D. Jakes, but I don't look at the same as T.D. Jakes anymore. I don't. The Diddy scandal, just today, the goofiness, it's not the same when my Aunt Anna was alive and she would tell me to watch T.D. Jakes, turn your TV on. As I'm looking at my pastor here, I just realized he lost a significant amount of weight. We all know what that is. Either he's Ozempic or he's sick. Why don't we talk about the weight loss? You know what I mean? I think we need to address the elephant in the room. And this is how we're going to do this today. Addressing the elephant in the room is, when I told you yesterday, oh, yeah, Nate, I don't want to do one-on-one therapy sessions with people. I want the people as a group, as a community, to catch it as a collective. I think it's, for example, like this. I think therapy should be for everybody. I don't think it should be a one-on-one situation. If you talk to me one-on-one, I could use your story to others without using your name. But I think people should be able to catch that nourishment. My goal, when you listening to these live streams from Ask Nathaniel and the B Mindset, is to feel better. The B Mindset means you want to do better. You want to be better. When you're feeling low and you listen to a live stream, you're supposed to feel 10 times. If you didn't feel like cleaning your room before you started listening to me, right? You're supposed to feel like that at the end of this live stream. When they tell you don't give up, that doesn't necessarily mean don't give up. You don't go to school. Don't let the devil. No, that doesn't, I'm not giving it to you that way. Don't give up is telling you to weather the storm. Don't wait for the storm to pass. You got to weather it. When there's individuals that are going through things and they say they listen to me, they're not listening. They're just hearing me. Because if they listen, they would be better. Some of y'all are done with dating. I'm done, sick of niggas, sick of people, sick of sharing information, sick of opening up to people, not going to tell this one that again. No, you're going to be a sore loser like that. Don't do that. Just listen. Listen and observe. Don't share your goals. Just listen and say, okay, made a mistake there, I'll correct that. It's like the pastor. I'm pretty sure he probably goes back and listens to his live stream and realizes, let me listen to my congregation. Let me listen to my sermon and see if there's something I probably didn't capture. If you are influenced by social media, I promise you nothing's going to get any better. Because social media desensitizes you. But if you look at the history, way back, and see films and see things and see how the world was and see that up until, I don't know, COVID, things was from worst to best. You know what I mean? These people didn't give up because the world was flourishing. Now we're just stuck in this time capsule of depression. So you don't even know how to be inspired. If I made a film, for example, and I made a film about passport bros and how niggas buy pussy across the seas, and you see that, if that shit is not going to be a comedy, isn't there a better light that I could bring you about a man that travels to different countries? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in life, you have to say, what is the better light of myself? You don't know who you are. You're disconnecting yourself. And now you're nothing but a robot to your job. You're just working because you got to pay the bills. I don't have a choice. You do have a choice. You just gave up. You can't get offended as a woman and say, or as a man, and I tell you, you need a man in the household. A real man. Without a real man, the house is incomplete. If the real man is in the house and he says, you know what? I'm listening to Nate. Shit, I could bring something to a woman's house. He'll be able to talk to her differently and being able to tighten up on his Mac a little better. But they're not. They have nothing to offer. And if he has nothing to offer, you have nothing to gain. If he has nothing to offer, you have nothing to gain. As people, we have to gain from each other. It's not tit for tat. It's not psychology. It's biology. It's life. To weather the storm, we have to weather it together. If this one's shutting down and that one's shutting down is giving up. That's all it is. You could say, I've just been staying in my stuff, staying low. Yeah, because you're depressed. That's what people do when they're depressed. They stay to themselves. Oh, I'm happy. I'm good. Things are light. I just closed on the house. That don't mean shit. You closed on the house in 2026. It's not the same as closing on the house in 1996. Sorry. You missed that. You just got another bill and another responsibility. You could let people shoot in your house and do Tubi movies and show how beautiful the house is. That's great. Okay, but that shit ain't making nobody happier. It's not. You gave up. Most of y'all are slaves to your job. And if you don't have a job and you're retired, then what are you going to do? What do you do for the day? You're not happy. Nobody's happy out here anymore because they all gave up. There's no happiness. Kanye West, all the money in the world. Nicki Minaj, all the money in the world. Method Man, all these opportunities, sex symbol for a man in his 50s, they're all sad. How's it that the homeless guy in the street seems to be happier than anybody? Now he's probably going through it because he knows that it's 2 degrees outside, so he has to go into a shelter. We lost about 20 people that died in the street already. They didn't even want to go in a shelter because they was at peace outdoors. And they froze to death. Ain't one fucking person letting them in the house. I'll tell you that for sure. No one. The city did. They're weathering the storm. They know it's gonna. As the days increase, the weather's gonna get warmer. They ain't tripping. You accomplished this, accomplished that, goddamn, you got a new year, you're already thinking about the next year. Shit, I'm gonna be this age this year. Some of y'all got 3 different ages within a year and a half. You're gonna be this age, you're coming to this year with one age. You're gonna be one age this year, the next year you're gonna be that age. That's depressing. Yeah, I'm retiring from work. I can't wait for what? To do what? You might as well stay working. Because you stop working, and you've been working at that job for 25 years, and you stop working, all that negativity is going to kick right in. You have planned to visit family, get closer to people, reach out to new friends. No, I'm not fucking with nobody. You better stay at that job. Because your health is going to decline. I promise you it will. People die from loneliness. So don't take it personal when I tell you that you need a man in your life. Take it personal when I say you need to get rid of that boy. Get that fucking boy out your house. Get the little girl out your house. Okay? Get them out of there. Them grown-ass folks that ain't accomplishing the fucking thing. Nothing. They're the issue. Because they gave up. And now y'all gave up together. Y'all waiting for the next goddamn it. Maybe a politician can make my life better. You look up every day, God damn it, let me look at the big story right now on the internet. Maybe somebody could bring me something. Doesn't go like that. That's why you're miserable. If you were happy, you would never tell nobody you're happy. Happy people don't know when they're happy. It's magnetic. Never believe a person tell you, I'm good, life is great, I'm at the happiest I've been. That's a fucking lie. They're lying. That's bullshit. You see a bum on the street laying in a cardboard box. They ain't talking about they happy over here, life is good, amazing. They are happy. They ain't complaining. They made a little bit of food, some water, but they happy where they're at. You're not happy for them. You couldn't imagine being happy in that position. You're not even happy in your position, and you got a fucking goddamn mansion. How come all these entertainers are doing podcasts right now? Because they're depressed. That's all. They need somebody to talk to. You don't see it like that because you see your favorite celebrity, you see some lighting in here. I got lighting in here. I got a great camera. I got all this expensive shit too. I got mixers and Macs and all that. How they jumping on this bandwagon? That should tell you something. Because they ain't got nothing going on. Trying to stay relevant. Don't want to be in the house. Want to have something to do. Human beings have to have something to do. They're not being inspired to do a film and be in the film because the film industry is terrible. The biggest thing we had in the last 2 months was Diddy's trial. That's pretty pathetic. Work on you. What does that mean? Well, Nate, what does that mean when they say that? Work on you is to address the elephant in the room. Just say what you are. Say I'm depressed. My life is lousy. Don't say life is good, but I could use a little bit of extra. No, it's not. It's not. You're not addressing the elephant in the room. You have to play a part. You have to lie to yourself. You have to lie to yourself. It's nothing more of the sad when somebody has to lie to themselves and they're trying to lie to me in the process of it. Because they're unhappy. And they don't know what it is to make them happy. So you hide it and camouflage it with work and taking care of business and doing this and doing that. Gave up already. Don't give up. Don't do that. Address the elephant in the room every day, every moment of the day, and correct it. You address the elephant in the room, it's something that you can do something about. Don't correct the thing. Well, Nate, what is the stuff we don't have to, we can't do nothing about? That's not the elephant in the room. Oh, you can't change people. That's a lie. Yes, you can. It all depends how far you're willing to go. You could remove a person from the earth, literally, within 2 seconds. You could do anything that you put your mind to. It may not be right. It may not be logic. Sometimes it may not be moral, but you could do anything you want to do. But is it going to make you happy? That's why you're giving up, because nothing's working. Ain't nothing happened. Go on a vacation right now. Go travel around the world and come back and walk into your house. Within minutes, you're going to be depressed because that shit was a waste of time. You would have been better off just being with a loved one and going on that vacation. That lasts forever. She went home, you went home, God damn it. Me and my girlfriend had a bar. I haven't seen her in fucking 40 years. The best vacation I took. Where did y'all go? Arkansas. What's out there? Just hanging out, chilling. We made up. I told her I was hurt. She told me she was hurt. We said we've been miserable without each other. Our kids are older, God damn it, lost parents. And it felt good to just say, I'm sorry. You know, every day I look at my phone and I catch myself like, what's the next new thing? What's anything? I got 2 phones, right? Right? And I look at both of the phones and I'm like, okay, anything here, anything here, anything here, and I go back and forth and it's nothing. And I'm like, and I just do this all day, every day, for years. You know how incredible it would be to see somebody you haven't spoke to in a while to come out of their shit, that dog shit they're sitting in, that they call it peace, and say, I miss you. I'm sorry. How are you? Been thinking about you. No. You're not going to get that these days. They all gave up. Been thinking about you. Happy belated birthday. Happy New Year. You know how many Happy New Years I got this year? Maybe 3. I remember recent years that it took me hours to respond to everybody. Remember that? Merry Christmas, you got to respond to this, respond to that. People don't even reach out to me because they're all depressed. They all gave up. They're all waiting for somebody to change their lives. So it desensitized them to spread love because they're unhappy. Some people may not have your number anymore. They have your email. You know, emails are there. I have one email address, Corey@AOL.com. I had that email since 1997. It's AOL. You know I had it for a long time. Everybody's stuck. How you see the world, you see people with $400,000 cars. You see people with a damn $2 car. The person with the $500,000 car is more sadder than the one that got the $2 car. Because he spent more money to make his world happy, and it didn't do shit. Just the car. The person in the $2 car wants to be where the person's at with the $500,000 car. 2 different worlds, but 2 similar worlds. Don't date women that got this. Don't date women that got that. Don't date women that live on the left side of the street. Don't date women that live on the uptown side. Don't date a woman. It's all bullshit. You have no happiness, you have nothing. You could build the biggest bridge, the biggest building, have an enormous amount of money in the bank. No happiness, it means nothing. It's nothing. Because you gave up. Nobody's telling you to give up. They can't tell you not to give up because they gave up. Nobody could inspire you to tell you as a living testimony, don't give up, because they're trying to find somebody to build them up. You go online, you seek attention. Let me post this picture. Let me send a video to a man. Let's see what he says. And now he says, nah, I don't like your outfit. You're going to get crushed. Because your mentality is, well, I like it. What does it matter? Yeah, but if it meant all that and you were so happy with your outfit, why you send it to me? You don't like yourself. Now you want to go off on me. No, don't go off on me, darling. Go off on yourself. You need to fix you. Well, that's your opinion. You could be egotistical. You could be negative. Well, I tell you one thing, you reacting, so it's true. Fix yourself. You gave up. Women understand women. Oh, women, they seek attention. It's all about the attention. Well, how do you know that so well? Everybody wants attention when they're down in the fucking gutter, unhappy and sad. If somebody put you in a gutter and lock you in, You're going to be screaming for attention. Goddamn, get me out of here. Viral videos, podcasts, sex. Let me share this and share that. Share. But you can't spread love. You're worthless. So I'm able to be on this podium now and say, you know what? Let me bring something to you so you can work on today. Fix yourself. Fix your mentality. Go look in that closet and say, none of this shit makes me happy. Go look at your bank account, whether it's zero or fucking loaded, and say, ain't gonna make. I want you to say that, because that's not gonna make you happy. It's not. It's not gonna do a fucking thing. It won't do nothing. No happiness is no life. Happiness is everything. You don't have family and friends anymore. Everybody's mad. Everybody, you done cut this one off. You even call boyfriend your Ben when you call him an ex. My ex. Your ex is still part of your life. You can't delete that. You can't erase the past. Why don't it be a memory instead of a bad thing? You give up on life, you have nothing. That's why all you see and everybody around you all gave up. Well, Jay-Z and Beyonce's happy. Nah, they gave up a long time ago. They're not happy anymore. They can't stay out the media. Why don't they stay in the house? How much money does a man need? I'll tell you, a man that keeps seeking more and more and more. Epstein kept trying to seek more and more. What happened to him? He owned his own island, and he was a miserable fuck. What is Jay-Z and them working for now? When are they going to retire, just stay home and say, you know what, goddamn, we got enough for our grandkids. When do they stop? Oh, they seen Jay-Z walking out the building in a paparazzi? Yeah, because the publicist calls the paparazzi over there. How do you think they get over there? You think they just happened to see him and called his homeboy and said, we seen Jay-Z running into the building? They know where he's going to be. You didn't know that? When the president comes to town, they tell the whole fucking goddamn everybody. They'll tell you next Tuesday the president's going to be in town. Gridlock alert. You think this 20 motherfuckers just happened to see Jay-Z walk in the building? You really believe that? Celebrities call paparazzis. That's why they're there. They get a call. They tell them, listen, we'll be over there such and such at 2 o'clock or have so-and-so, and they get off the phone. And they pay the person that tells them to work. And you watch it and make the video viral because they needed attention. Can Jay-Z and Beyonce go outside and look out and look at the great water and the fire, or look at the woods of anything that's natural? No, they can't. You won't allow them to. And if they do it, how boring is it going to be without having a goddamn paparazzi or a fan asking for an autograph? They're miserable without you. They need you 24 hours a day. We have Super Bowl. Some of y'all can't wait. Y'all going to a Super Bowl party. We're going to turn up chicken wings, pizza. Yeah, you'll feel like shit tomorrow. Shout to AD. You're not working on yourself. Shout to AP. You're not working on yourself. Work on you. A Super Bowl party in 2026 has played out. This ain't 96. This ain't the good times. We're in a storm, and y'all don't even know how to weather it. It'll be cool for a little minute. It ain't going to be like it was. No party's going to be like it was back. No, it won't. 2026, the time tells that. You'd be better off just telling me, you know what, man, I'll check out social media at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. That's all. What's it going to do? You're going to leave your comfort of your home to go to somebody else's house to see if maybe they can make me feel better. Do something to make me feel better. Remember that in Players Club where the dude said, do something to make me feel better. That's what y'all looking for. You're looking at your phone to see if something makes you feel better. Ain't nothing working. Ain't a vacation, okay? Y'all could go to Miami this summer. You could turn up over here. You could get an Airbnb. Ain't gonna matter. No happiness, then that's a waste of time. So I want you to think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Today, what are you going to do to work on yourself? I bet you don't even know how to do it. Nate, well, Nate, how do we do that? I just told you, don't give up. Because you gave up already. You did this in your tone. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know who to trust. I'm done. You don't get enough views on YouTube. You close your, I ain't doing this shit no more. You can't get that viral video. You can't get it like these guys. These guys are getting 15,000 people watching them. I got 12. I'm done. I gave up. Oh, well. That's what people do when they're unhappy. That's the first thing that person does when they're unhappy. They fucking give up. Instead of weathering the situation and saying, well, let me make it better to work for me. I feel good when I do this. I probably feel better than you do. Because it makes me happy. I know that. I came here before I started on my day. I got a day ahead of me. In order for the day I had to go here and say, let me spread this happiness. We're in bad shape, man. You keep listening to these fucking assholes talking. If it ain't one asshole talking, it's another fucking problem. People giving you their problems. You're carrying on people's way. Man, shit, that's a very miserable, very bad state, man. What do you use as an out? What is your out? You don't know what to do with yourself. You're going to sit at home, watch TV, and scroll on the fucking phone. You can't even watch the television program because you're going to scroll on your phone. Go out to a comedy show right now, see if you laugh. I bet you the next day you forgot about that show. You ain't going to forget about fucking Martin's You So Crazy. You'll never forget it. Matter of fact, go watch that today. I bet you'll still laugh. 30 plus years later, that shit is still funny. Ain't nothing funny now with these corny comedians. Everybody want to be a therapist now because people are depressed. I want to help people. Nobody wants to help people. That's bullshit. I just love helping people. I just love, what ends up happening when a person helps people and the people don't listen? They give up. Happens all the time. I'm done. I can't. You better look at the people like the teachers. Oh, I couldn't do that for the salary. They're not doing it for the salary. If you're a teacher for the salary, you're going to be miserable. If you're the teacher because you love teaching kids, you'll be happy. Plain and simple. When you're happy, you do something for nothing. Financially. I didn't make $1 here during this live stream, not 1 fucking cent. Nobody gave up $1. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because it makes me happy. In the process of me making myself happy, I bring out the best in you and tell you to address the elephant in the room. The problem is you. You're the fucking problem. You miserable bastard. It's you. I got everything I should be happy with. You do, but it ain't going to do shit. That's why you got that phone. You keep looking for something to make you happy. All that toxins is building up. You've been looking at that phone for 20 years. Why don't you let some of that shit out your system? Ain't nothing happening. Go watch the Kelly movie and go watch the Kelly movie and Method Man and tell me right now, I'll show you an old film that'll destroy it. What y'all call it, Romax or whatever? What's that? Just call it romantic comedy. How romantic can it be? What, he's kissing her in there? They making love scenes? Is Kelly's husband or boyfriend going to go for that? Is Method Man's wife going to go for that? Then how are they able to have a film? You'd be better off watching Boomerang. There's a lot of gems in that movie still to today. And they had a soundtrack. What good is a movie? And they don't even make soundtracks anymore. They just make everybody in there with a perfect haircut and a perfect wig. It's corny. Not gonna make you happy. We used to go to films and leave a film and be happy for days. Oh my God, well, I still can't get over that movie. Which movie? The one we seen last week, we're still talking about it. Go to Netflix right now and try to look for a good movie. It'll probably take you an hour. And even then, you're probably gonna choose some bullshit. Because now the movie is split up in 15 different damn episodes. Work on yourself. Fix you. Right? I'm telling you, no soundtrack. Where does it say? If there's no soundtrack, what do we have? You listen to the soundtrack from Waiting to Excel. It's going to bring you to a special place. Every song on there. Especially being in a movie. It's easy to make a movie now because you can make it on your phone. They don't have to put it in work. Everything now is in this poisonous fucking device right here. You can make a movie with a fucking iPhone. A full feature movie on Tubi. There's a few of them I could show you. Made with a phone. And they could just upload. They could make the movie, edit it on the phone, and fucking upload this shit to Tubi. They don't have to leave the house. Back in the days, these niggas had to go out there, movie crew, putting in the work, send it to an editor, go do this, do that, go on promo tours, different radio stations. Now they just got to go to podcasters. Hey, you can stay home and send me this fucking link and interview me now as an actor. Don't give up. Weather the storm. Don't try to wait for the storm to be over. You'll be miserable if you do that. You gave up because you're waiting for the storm to pass. You're waiting for the next best thing that could move you. What if it doesn't happen? If you weather it, you're in control. Ladies and gentlemen, don't give up. Class is dismissed.